that there were lots of drills going on. If
Absolutely.
you're actually going to do this, you don't have lots of drills. If you're saying that they wanted body counts high for maximum impact to get your point across, then you wouldn't have drills. What you would have done was reinforced to everybody. If the fire starts, go up, which is what people were told to do, and that's why some of those people were killed. Now, the other problem you have is, because of the officiousness of government, was when those planes were attacked, the problem was this. Like when I worked for a bank, I was told, cooperate with the robbers. The problem on September 11th was, those pilots were told, let them into the cabin, land the plane, let the experts take over. If you look at if they had actually resisted those guys with the box cutters, we could be reading right now, we would have read about a small attack in Virginia. But the problem was, the advice they were given was roll over. And the problem you have is that for too long, America's rolled over, and there's been a change in politics.
Yeah, well, my point that I was making, I don't know how we got into, I mean, who fought, what struggle, or, you know, all this stuff that you see out there. The point is that it was very possible that we could have stopped it if we would have let normal government officials do what they were supposed to do. Mainly the fact that what's-his-face, Dick Cheney, was actually given a couple months before the key to be the individual that NORAD had to go through to have even given an executive order to even shoot
as opposed
a plane
to who?
down, as opposed to whoever is operating at NORAD. That power was given away from them. Right. And I find that a big coincidence as well. So I just find so many coincidences. So I've never won a lottery before.
Commander-in-Chief and his assistant shouldn't be in charge of the military. It should be the military. I mean, who decided to drop the atom bomb? Who decided to drop the atom bomb?
Come on.
Truman. I'm saying to you, the ultimate power rests with the commander-in-chief, who is the president. It's for him to decide where that power lasts. And the other problem is this. If he hadn't taken that power, and NORAD didn't shoot those, and NORAD shot those planes down, then there'd be a big investigation into why innocent civilians were killed.
Big investigation? The 9/11 Commission is the biggest fraud ever. The people that are heads of it sits on the boards of Blackwater. They sit on the board of Halliburton. These people, Philip Zelikow, who heads the whole thing, has co-authored books with Condoleezza Rice and is actually a Bush cabinet advisor. I mean, how can you say that there'd be a big investigation when 70% of the people's family members that died in 9/11, 70% of their questions weren't even answered by the 9/11 Commission? William Rodriguez, who was on the ground floor, said he heard bombs going off in the basement of the Twin Towers before the plane even hit.
Well, hold on a second.
That wasn't even allowed in the report.
Probably
the $100,000 that was wired from General Mahmoud of the ISI, Pakistani intelligence, was wired to Muhammad Ali the day before 9/11. He was found to be having breakfast with government officials in this country on 9/11. And a couple weeks prior to that, CIA officials were sent over and they did whatever they did. They were meeting all together. I find that bothersome.
Well, of course
that would be deleted out of the 9/11 Commission report. I find that bothersome. Do you find that disturbing?
No.
You don't find that disturbing?
The problem with dealing with countries like Pakistan is the duality of those countries. The problem you have is they started the Taliban. Talib is a Pakistani word. Okay. Taliban was a Pakistani movement, trained, supported, and started in Pakistan to take over in Afghanistan to put a friendly power on the northwest border.
So according to Bush's definition, a terrorist is those who fund terrorism. Do you agree with that statement?
I agree. Pakistan is funding terrorism. I agree
that
Pakistan is doing terrorist acts.
Bush said...
I agree that Pakistan is responsible for terrorist acts.
Cool. Bush said a terrorist is those that fund terrorism. Right. Do you agree with that statement?
Yeah.
So why did we fund Al-Qaeda back in...
We didn't fund Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda wasn't founded.
Okay. Now I want to play word games. Let's just go with the Taliban or Mujahideen. Let's go with that.
I just told you. The Taliban was started by Pakistan after the fall.
Okay.
So no...
Wait. So you're saying that our government, through the CIA, did not fund the Mujahideen to fight against the Russians? You're saying that?
No, I'm saying
on national. Well, on
no. See, you didn't listen.
Okay.
If you'd listen, yes, they did fund it. But the problem with your statement is you're actually wrong.
So we did fund
Al-Qaeda. Hang on. Al-Qaeda was the foreign fighters that went over there. The Afghan fighters weren't the ones fighting.
So you're saying they weren't terrorists?
The Northern Alliance.
Is that what you're saying?
No. The Northern Alliance.
So you're saying that we funded terrorists?
No, I'm not. I'm not saying either. Right.
But you just said that we did fund them.
We funded them during their war. Helping them.
So they were terrorists.
No,
so we're terrorists
fighting in their own country.
By Bush's definition, you just agreed.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Let me try it in English tomorrow, because apparently you don't speak.
You don't have to sound condescending. I'm just telling you. I'm going to calm down. I'm going to let you explain.
No, what you're doing is asking a pointless question.
Go ahead.
During the war, pointless question.
I'm saying that Bin Laden is part of the CIA. If he was a CIA asset, well, why were two of his family members still staying at Falls Church, Virginia.
How many members of
with
his
the
family
CIA
are there?
headquarters.
How many?
Are you aware of
family
that?
Yes,
Are you aware of that?
I'm aware he had family members in this country.
Okay.
I'm also
Are you
aware
aware
he
that
has
they
over
stay
200.
in Falls Church, Virginia, which is where CIA headquarters is located? Are
There's
you
a
aware
lot
of
of
that?
other people living there too. It's a
yeah.
suburb of DC.
Yeah, that's just coincidence.
Really? It's not a suburb of DC?
No, that's just a
How many
coincidence.
churches are there? How many houses are there in Falls?
Foolish for thinking that.
How many houses are there in Falls Church that aren't CIA?
Come on. Okay, come on.
Well, no, see, if you want to see connections, they're everywhere. The simple thing is this.
Absolutely. I'm
America-
connecting the dots. Isn't that logical for me to
No,
do such
it's
a thing?
insane when you start looking too
It's
deeply for
insane
connections. You'll see
for
them
me to
everywhere.
think that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
The day before D-Day, the names of the
let's
the
stay on
5
9/11.
beaches. No. The
You
names
have
of,
any
you're
other
talking about
questions,
coincidences.
Chris? No, but
The names of the
I mean,
5
we can
beaches
go
appeared in the newspaper.
I'll let you
That
say
was just a coincidence.
Okay.
Coincidence happened. How many members of bin Laden's family are there? 200. Are some friendly with America? Yes, they're leading Saudi Arabians,
Some.
very wealthy.
A lot are.
Right.
A lot are.
He is the black sheep of that family. And he's using their money to fund the war against us.
Okay,
But the thing
he's
is
the
this,
black sheep.
we funded Afghans fighting against Russians. Their country was invaded. We funded them to fight against an invader. How would they be terrorists?
Well, we
They're
don't
fighting
label
against
them terrorists.
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We laid
Bush-
Al-Qaeda
Bush's
terrorists.
whole-
We laid
Al-Qaeda.
Al-Qaeda,
Okay.
who's mainly foreign and not Afghans. The
All right.
majority is Saudi Arabians.
All right, so we're playing word games.
No, we're not.
Palestinian
I think
Jews,
Saudi Arabia is different from
Israel,
Afghanistan.
Greek,
All right.
No, I think you'll
former
find they're different.
Decepticon.
We're not going to win
crazy.
on the debate.
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever.
crazy.
Now, let me ask you this, Tamari. What do you think this administration's next move is going to be?
To invade Iran. This is what they said in their PNAC document. The program for a new American century. They tell you right there that they want to take over the Middle East. They tell you right there that we need a catalyzing event, a new Pearl Harbor, in order for them to further their agenda.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you think the
And
agenda,
9/11 was that
if a Democrat wins, is the agenda the same?
Yeah, it's the same. It's irrelevant who actually gets in office. I mean, now we're talking about a bigger conspiracy theory when you start talking about 40% of the presidents are actually related somehow. George Bush, John Combe Carey, and what's the guy from Playboy? What's his name? Hugh Hefner. They're all cousins. Their cousins actually revert all the way back to Vlad the Impaler, who we call Count Dracula. It sounds crazy, but you can't make stuff up like this.
Well, of course you can. He'll do all the time. How are you going to trace back? I'd love to see you trace back the roots to Vlad the Impaler that was eventually killed by the Muslims over there. How you can trace his bloodlines? You can trace bloodlines for half of Europe.
Yeah,
go through 50 or 60 people.
It's pretty simple.
Every
it's called
house
Google.com.
Right, and Google would be right. It could never be wrong. God forbid.
The one thing we can't give out is plugs. Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to thank you both for coming on. John, we're going to do the year-end recap, so you're going to stay with us. Tamari, thank you for coming on. And we'll be right back.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?